Thank you for all of you, to all of you for making this possible. I know, I can't like, okay. So out of 27,136 eligible voters, 8,212 votes were casted, and the voter turnout was 30.3%. First up is the Arts Restoring Community ARC referendum. Shall the Undergraduate Student Association ensure the continuity of student group arts programming by increasing the USAC fee by $1.55 per undergraduate student per quarter? With 4,030 votes, as opposed to 3,358 votes, or 54.5% to 45.6%, the ARC referendum passes. Transfer Student Representative Constitutional Amendment. Shall the Undergraduate Students Association amend the Constitution to create a transfer student representative position on the Undergraduate Students Association Council in order to address academic and social issues, housing and commuter concerns, as well as transfer student integration into the UCLA community? With 5,357 votes as opposed to 1,847 votes, or 74.4% to 25.6%, the Transfer Student Representative Constitutional Amendment passes. Student Wellness Commissioner. With 5,994 votes, or 100% of the votes cast, Savannah Badalich is your new Student Wellness Commissioner. Financial Supports Commissioner. The instant runoff voting method was used for this office, and with 3,203 votes as opposed to 1,066 votes, as opposed to 2,436 votes, no candidates reached the 50% plus one threshold. Gabriel Gutierrez is eliminated and his votes are transferred. With 3,597 votes as opposed to 2,915 votes, or 55% to 45%, your next Financial Supports Commissioner is Heather Rosen. Facilities Commissioner. The instant runoff voting system was used and the threshold is 50% plus one vote. With 2,793 votes as opposed to 2,606 votes, as opposed to 1,319 votes, no candidates reached the threshold. Terry Fung Ha Wen is eliminated and her votes are transferred. With 3,218 votes as opposed to 3,199 votes, your next Facilities Commissioner is Carlos Quintana. Cultural Affairs Commissioner. Cultural Affairs Commissioner. With 6,069 votes, or 100% of the votes, your next Cultural Affairs Commissioner is Ermery Garcia.
Where is she?
Community Service Commissioner. With 6,016 votes, or 100% of the votes, your next Community Service Commissioner is Cynthia Wong. Campus Events Commissioner. With 6,032 votes, or 100% of the votes, your next Campus Events Commissioner is Greg Kalfayan. Academic Affairs Commissioner. The instant runoff voting system was used for this office, so the threshold for this office is 50% plus one votes. With 2,857 votes as opposed to 2,909 votes, as opposed to 1,031 votes, no candidates reached the threshold. Candidate Jazz Kyung is eliminated and his votes are transferred. With 3,261 votes as opposed to 3,311 votes, or 49.62% to 50.38%, your next Academic Affairs Commissioner is Allison Beck. General Representative. General Representative. For this office, the British Columbia STV voting method was used, and the number of ballots cast was 7,252 votes, and the threshold for election is 1,814 votes. After the first 4 rounds of elimination, candidate Manjot Singh has reached the threshold and is elected as General Representative 1 with a total of 1,919 votes. After the 7th round of tabulation, candidates were eliminated and their votes were redistributed. With 2,289 votes, candidate Nihal Sukyadar has reached the threshold and is elected General Representative 2. In the same round, with 2,163 votes, candidate Fabienne Fabrock has reached the threshold and is the General Representative 3. If you would like details on the tabulations for the General Representative office, please go to USACelections.com and the tabulations will be posted there. External Vice President. The instant runoff voting system was used for this office, so the threshold for election is 50% plus 1 votes. With 3,269 votes as opposed to 2,660 votes, as opposed to 844 votes, no candidates reach the threshold. Candidate Angel Garfio is eliminated and his votes are transferred. With 3,269 votes as opposed to 2,967 votes, or 52.4% to 47.6%, your next External Vice President is Conrad Contreras. Internal Vice President. Internal Vice President. For the office of Internal Vice President, the instant runoff voting system was used and the threshold for election is 50% plus 1 votes. With 3,310 votes as opposed to 2,670 votes as opposed to 1,101 votes, no candidates reach the threshold. Candidate Harwind Lasher is eliminated and his votes are redistributed. With 3,675 votes as opposed to 3,212 votes, or 53.4% to 46.6%, your next Internal Vice President is Abhinav Barak. The Office of President. For the Office of President, the instant runoff voting system was used and the threshold for election is 50.1%. With 3,344 votes as opposed to 3,193 votes as opposed to 908 votes, or 44.9% as opposed to 42.9% as opposed to 12.2%, no candidates reached the threshold. Candidate Miriam Rodriguez is eliminated and her votes are transferred. With 3,626 votes as opposed to 3,657 votes, or 49.8% to 50.2%, your next USAC president of UCLA of the 2014-2015 academic year is Devin Murphy. Thank you all so much for taking part in the elections and have a great weekend.